Obama put my father in jail. He didn't do it personally, though Dad likes to say he did. My father, a terrorist in the eyes of the United States government, the whitest, gun-toting, pathetically patriotic American since I have a problem. I fucking love shaving. I love it. Sometimes I wish the hair on my face would grow faster. I'll just stand in front of the mirror, willing it. Come on, fuckers. Make my day. I fucking dare you. I'd shave again if it did anything for me, but it doesn't. I need something to slice, to scrape off, you know? You ever listen to the sound of a razor cutting through stubble? Yeah. See, I have a problem. Dad sent a text to a number that was supposed to blow up the Pentagon. When I heard this, shit, Mom, Dad can text. But no, really, the Pentagon. Pop loves the military. Pick a better fucking target, Pop, for fuck's sake. I don't care. I have almost exactly zero feelings about it. Why should I? He is derelict, expired. Him and all the other real Americans, disgruntled, displaced, jobless, on disability or unemployment, princes sucking from the government teeth themselves. It's not that a black man was elected president, though symbolically I suppose that was a blow. In 2008, they started saying that this was the first American generation that will see a lower standard of living than the one before it. Think about that. First time in history, decline. We represent the generation of decline. You know where they don't shave enough? Fucking prison. I go there to visit Dad, and I notice. God. Do I notice? It makes sense, though. How does it even work? Shaving in prison. They must count the razors or something, hand them out for showers, and then get the same number back. That is what they do. I looked it up. I'm obsessed. But you'd think maybe there was once a job where one guy did it all. Prison barber. Shaved every beefcake in there. I want that job. I'd shave until my fucking hands cramped. As it stands now, I just fantasize. He could use a shave. I'd like to put my razor on his face. I was in a mall shooting once. I wasn't the shooter. But a woman got hit right in front of me. The bullet went through her cheek and out the other side of her face. I've been following her. She's one of those girls where you can't tell what race they are because either too much tan or mixed parents or... But right bass. Look at that. She was on the phone. I was just watching it move. Shots rang out. I hit the ground. I'm an American. I know what a gun going off sounds like. But she came down after the bullet went in and out. Passed through her phone, too. Squealed like a pig, actually, on the ground, just writhing. I didn't feel shit. Just fascinating. I was so close, I saw her before the blood. I mean, there was blood, but you know the moment of pause before the rush? bone, teeth, pink flesh. And then the phone, all splintered up and infused in what was left of her jaw. The shooter didn't hit much else besides himself. He ran into a freight elevator and turned the gun around. Do you think it's a problem that I was disappointed? I could have been a survivor of a mass shooting, well known, cared for, carved into a niche. But there were no dead, no real motives, no national news. I mean, I know it's wrong. But don't we all just want a bit of carnage nowadays? Entrapment is how they got Dad. After 9/11, the federal government freaked the fuck out, and instead of waiting for terrorist plots to surface, they proactively sent their agents out looking for people that would maybe one day be terrorists. A few tough cuts in commission, percentages lost in 401ks, overly enthusiastic posts on right-wing message boards, and there you have it. You were contacted by someone hoping to put your passion into action. And my father is a small man. For his 60th birthday, I got him a shirt that said, "Aging ungracefully." He did. He aged fast. But he never wanted to hurt anyone. Just didn't want to be impotent. His agent gave him the plans, the target, the friends. Gave him the phone. Taught him how to text. All he had to do was hit send. A brief moment of ejaculation before you're shuffled off to pasture. Sometimes I wish I lived in an earlier America, like during the Revolutionary War when they used to line up in fields and I had a Gatling gun. Mostly, though, I think this is the best time to be alive in America. I don't know what's going to happen next. It excites me. And every third day, I wake up, I shower, I shave. I feel so goddamn home.
Allah, you know what? I'm really upset with you. I will tell you why. I will tell you what you've never heard. I will tell you why I think that you murdered my sister. But if you are the one you're supposed to be, then you should already know it. I have 3 questions for you. You don't have to answer right away. You can think of it and tell me later. Allah, I need you to be honest with me. And don't be angry if I use swear words. Why did my dad have to die so soon? That was number 1. Think of it. Is being Muslim more important than being human? That's a more difficult one. Think of it. And for the last, why the fuck is my leg still so stiff? Do you remember? A few months ago, when the kitchen was crazy crowded, all of my sisters and mom and me, we were expecting him. Marwan Sajjadi, the one and only man on earth for Eileen. Eileen, our oldest, our example, the future bride. I call her the day's dinosaur. It is absurd, but she wasn't nervous. I was. Everybody else was. She didn't care shit. Imagine a day's dinosaur wearing the ugliest hijab you can find. I'm pretty sure now she's a lesbian. But Mariam did care. Our youngest flower in Jannah was ready to be picked. I saw her. I smelled it from what she produced in her underwear. Anyway, Mom was shouting and telling me that I would be the worst housewife ever. How come? You put salt in the honey yogurt? You are 1,000 million times more stupid than a handicapped camel! Everybody was laughing. Me too. A bit. I had to put the pan on the stove as he rang on the door. You could have chosen an icky, insignificant, ignorant, ill-favored man. All I saw was his rainbow eyebrows, his strawberry lips, and all I heard was his melted, dark chocolate voice. Nice to meet you, he said. Marwan, do you want some more tea? Marwan, are you hungry? Marwan, do you love me? Oh, I'm sorry. You're stupid, handicapped, and your face looks like a car crash. I had to stand up. I had to go out. I had to stop this from happening. For the honor of our family. Marian and Marwan, isn't that funny? They meant to do what they did because of their names. 3 nights after the magical encounter, Marian and me were lying in bed laughing. We laughed so much that one of the beds broke into pieces. How is a day's dinosaur gonna have sex with him if she's a lesbian? There's no answer for that. Then how much we laughed. Marian laughed, she laughed and laughed. Exhausted of being funny, I fell asleep. But the throb of my buried desire wouldn't let me sleep in peace. 3:20 a.m. Awake, breathless, and sweating. Marian's bed is empty. My feet walked me downstairs, through out the massive wooden door to the left corner of our terrace. The terrace needs to be cleaned, I thought. Right at this moment, I saw what I heard. Marian? Marian, are you okay? No response. A strong, athletic back, decorated with dark, curly hair dancing in the wind. A leg on the right, another leg on the left. Movement, sound, movement, sound, sound, movement, sound. Does this mean being a bad Muslim, Allah? Or does it only mean being a bad person, Allah? Huh? Back and lonely, in the darkness of my thoughts. What did I do wrong? What should I do now? I looked down, my pants wet, my leg still stiff, my heart trying to break out of my ribcage. My blood was outside, dancing with the stranger. I wasn't. Why? Huh? Why did you take me as her partner in crime? Why didn't you at least give me the chance to commit the crime myself? 24 nights of sound and movement later, Mariam stood up again, ready to dance. Mariam, where are you going? She silently laughs. Don't ask. You know, this has to stop. Why? Because this man is not yours. He's going to marry Eileen, the lesbian. He doesn't love her. Look at me. He loves me. You behave like a godless slut. I have to do something. Do so. I don't care. My love is stronger than your belief. And you You're disgusting. You are evil, Reshma. You are the perverted one. You are the one touching yourself, watching your sister. Let no man be in privacy with a woman he is not married to, or Shaitan will be the third. She laughs again. My feet walk me fast and faster through the corridor. I knock on Mom's door. I didn't know that the stiff-legged person is able to run so fast when she's in love, were Marianne's last words. She's never gonna dance again. And I was an extraordinary Muslim, wasn't I? He's gonna dance again somewhere soon. I did all this for the best of the best. But now, I am yellow inside. Yellow dirt of jealousy, vomit in the heart of my womb. You taught me so, Allah. You killed her. No, we did it together. I have one last question. Why did you decide to kill the treasure and save the trash? Theseus, where are you? Anyone? It's just a joke. That's what it is, just a joke. They'll be returning soon. Theseus, you are such a butthead. It's okay. Everybody can come out now. I get the joke. I guess I'll just sit by myself until they come back this evening. Maybe they went fishing. They're coming back with the biggest, pinkest salmon I've ever seen. Find some water and something to eat. I keep tasting the salt. No. Theseus loved bananas. On previous mornings, he would wake up early, go into the jungle for a hunt. He would always bring me back bananas. I can still picture. He shaved his light curly brown hair, and little drops of sweat start to make their way from his neck to his chest.
Then he would throw a banana in my lap. Here you go, princess. The more I think about it, he hardly ever said my name. People who care always say her name. The truth is, Theseus, you are a fucking bastard. What man leaves a girl like me on an island after he promised her to get married? What type of a low-life person does that and feels no remorse? Do you even have a heart? Or are you a monster like my brother? You don't even deserve my tears. I hope the ground where you walk on turns into a big pile of green, crawling, slimy pythons who slowly start to nibble your feet. Oh, you did have an extremely funny smell in the morning. You might even say you stank. It was disgusting. And of course, your eyes are way too close together, but you probably already knew that. You know, at least the person I will marry will have his eyes at a normal distance from each other. Under the river by the boat, sir, everybody comes to be alone. Do you remember that one day when it was so hot outside, the sun nearly burned our skins, and you could see the heat making its way up through curly heat waves? Nurse, bring me my palm leaf. It's such a warm day. Are there any fresh grapes in the garden? Come on now, playing games with people isn't very nice now, is it, Ariadne? No, Mommy, it's not. I will never tie the gardener up with our oak tree again and sprinkle him with water to see him grow. Mother, you said you would always be there for me. Where are you now? Father, well, even though I was always your little girl, you couldn't wait to ship me off to the next stranger. I'm going to make an altar and pray. If I serve the gods, they will help me. Where is he anyway? The god I'm supposed to marry? Wine? Ecstasy? Pleasure? Where are you, Dionysus? Where are you, Dionysus? Where are you, Dionysus? Dionysi se caló, se equiparó na me voifisis, y se imonimu elpida, apo aftotonisi para me macria. Who are you? Dionysus, is that you? Congratulations! You are this year's sacrifices. What an honor! Welcome to Crete. We've got blue waters, camel-colored cliffs, and white beaches. You will be brought to your sleeping cells next to the labyrinth to spend the night. And as soon as the sun sets over the mountains, you will be brought into the labyrinth to be sacrificed to the Minotaur. May Lady Fortune be on your side. It's just a joke. It's just a joke.
Almost done. Need a conclusion, and I'm good to go. We still have a day to finish this report, but I want this promotion so badly. There's another guy on the lower floor that wants to get this promotion, but I will do anything to get it. If I get this promotion, I'll get a nicer office and be just next to him. One of the main reasons I don't want to be stuck in this office is her and her next door office crew. Every time I'm on my break, they just can't stop insulting me. Look at her. She thinks she looks good. It's disgusting. Ew. Well, I like this outfit. It's practical after all. To get on a man's world, you need to be one of the lads. Women. Do you want to know what I'm staring at? Boobs and asses. I will tell you a secret. When I was walking down the street with my boss, if I liked a woman who walked just across us, I would say to him, "She looks hot." I mean, come on. When you see a nice thing walking down the street, you will point it out, right? I wish one day he could see me in women's clothes. He's handsome. His eyes are blue and his hair is blonde and his body, well, his body is muscular. Yesterday, he was walking next to me and said, "Good morning, mate. I hear you're doing an excellent job on that report." I'm his top man in the office. I don't want to be his top man. I want him to want me. I am sick of being one of the guys. Look at me. I am stuck in these clothes. I have some nice dresses at home. One of them is pink with black stripes. And I have a playsuit. Oh, I love playsuits. It's been ages since I wore it though. It has a belt on the waist so you can show your curves. It looks a bit like anyone walks here right now, I am fucked. People think I'm insane. This. Well, the other one is more girly, of course. The shirt is open, just like this. Well, this doesn't look girly enough to show you what I mean, but this is the real me. Do you know what just popped into my head? Tomorrow, I am coming in with my hair down and heels on.
That's wrong.
Yeah, it's okay. On the other side. Yeah. So here.
And the leather strop should be off. Still hanging there.
Sorry. You want me to set it or go back to the switch?
Sorry?
You want me to set it or just go back to the switch?
Just set it. That'll be. I'm sure you'll remember.
And then he kissed me really hard, and I just let him because I thought that's what he wanted, and then he would stop. And he did stop for a second before he put his hand over my mouth and pressed down hard. And it was hard to breathe because I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. And then his other hand went under my shirt. And I just closed my eyes. I kept trying to scream, but I don't think any noise came out. And then he pulled at my skirt really hard, and it ripped, and then this is the first time he's going to see me since his arrest. I'm going to be sitting right in front of him, and he's going to be staring at me, daring me to triple my story. Not going to happen. His mistake. God, I'm actually anxious. My mother sat me down last night to have this deep, reassuring conversation. I'll be right there in the room, just look for me. It was kind of sweet, actually. The first time, even since all of this happened, I feel like she was actually worried about me. She sat down next to me. She tucked my hair behind my ears. She held my hands, and she kept telling me that she loved me. And she was proud of me for coming out and telling the truth. You know, I knew as soon as I told Mother she'd fight for damage control. You know, she did the work to make sure they knew I was the victim. And no one ever questioned it. And it could have. You know, the reputation I had, I'm still shocked sometimes, but here I am. Winning. People trust me now. I knew she would make sure all the right people heard before others, all the right newspapers were there. When we came home that night and she was just finishing the dishes, I mean, I knew exactly how she would react. We had the usual exchange. She asked, how did the babysitting go? Did the kids behave? Did I get my homework done? And then she heard me sobbing. She turned around and finally saw me. No shoes, hair a mess, skirt and hose were torn. What a mess. A bleeding lip and bruised cheek. That hurt a lot. When she saw me like that, and she heard what Mr. Ross had done, all the rumors she had heard, and the shame she felt at having a daughter as the supposed whore of the town, just went away. And I saw her relief, even though I was telling her her daughter was just raped. And suddenly, none of it was my fault. Until the whispering stopped. People weren't talking behind my back anymore. They were coming right up to me, asking if I was okay, if there was anything I needed. And I just smiled and answered, no, thank you. I just want it to be over. But did I ever tell you that Catherine and Milzer actually rang the doorbell after the arrest and brought us homemade pie? Her apology for over a year of backstabbing. Now, I couldn't stop laughing. People trusted her, you know, because she lives next to the Rosses, so saw me come and go every time I babysat, and the times in between. But she's the type of person who will come up to you, be just the loveliest girl, and then turn around and tell Betty, last night she heard me and Mr. Ross fucking in the garage. Except she would never use that word. I love throwing all that gossip back in their faces, you know. So empowering, and feeling like the pebble in everyone's shoe to she who's making the town burn. Henry doesn't have that many supporters anymore. And then his other hand went under my shirt, and I just closed my eyes. I kept trying to scream, but I don't think any noise came out. And then he pulled at my skirt really hard, and it ripped. And then tears. Should I be crying right now, or is that too much? And I don't want to make it too dramatic, not this close to the verdict. Maybe just fighting back tears. Show that the memory is still strong and vicious, but I'm the brave little girl who came forward in the first place. I'm just the victim here. Poor Mr. Ross. Poor Henry. Tables turn very quickly. And I thought I'd feel bad turning against him like this. I'm just doing what I have to do. I'm protecting myself. Survival. I thought I'd at least hesitate. No, but he didn't when he called it off. And what did he expect? That he can toss me out? There'd be no consequences? No, I know it was his wife finally convincing him to fire me, so the talk around town would stop. But I thought he was everything. And in the end, he was just a coward. I didn't care what people said, but for him to turn his back on me, I didn't think I could fall out of love so easily. As soon as he closed the door on me that night, I suddenly became quite aware of the truth of this world. You're on your own. And then it didn't hurt so much anymore. Even when I threw myself on the ground and broke my own lip open. Didn't hurt. Because I knew I was going to win.
people with problems or totally crazy would end up in prison. I never thought it would happen to people like me. Or you. My name is Eliza. I'm 30 years old. Capricorn. Stubborn, ambitious, touchy, but also kind, easygoing, and above all, faithful. A little bit too dreamy about the more important events in a person's life. Love Hearts is not only the title of a song, you know. Love Hearts, seriously. It took me 30 years to figure it out, but now I'm sure that love is equal to pain, and pain is equal to love, and that belief unites all women. Of course it does. It couldn't be different. We grew up with fairy tales in which beautiful white horses, princes, and kisses under the rain only come after a lot of tragedies, difficulties, quarrels, and torments. If not, it's a love that doesn't deserve to be lived. When I was a child, Prince Charming was my father. He was only 25 years older than me, and he seemed to me the most beautiful man I had ever seen. Maybe he was. I was literally crazy for him. He worked only during the mornings, so my father and I spent a lot of time together. He loved to help me to complete my puzzles, to finish my hated maths homework. He took me out to the cinema every Tuesday afternoon, to the park, to the library. Growing up and discovering that my father was not Prince Charming, but just an ordinary man, was the very first big emotional disappointment of my life. In my sentimental curriculum, there is a high school love story with the most popular guy, who after a year and a half I found out to be a drug dealer who was cheating on me with my best friend. A cohabitation, totally disapproved from my family with a man 15 years older than me. And finally, a long-distance relationship with an obsessive-compulsive musician in New York. When I met Sydney, everything seemed to be perfect. So perfect that I decided to marry him within a month. I was tired of living impossible lives, and I felt like I had finally found the right balance with another person. I thought it would be forever. We finished each other's sentences. We thought the same things. We talked about the same passions. Then something was broken. I've never once tried to change him, but he tried to change me. At some point, his behavior became unacceptable. Suddenly, nothing was enough. Not anymore. And Julia, our little girl, she's only 7, but she knows everything. Towards the end, when we were having dinner, she stared at us as if she wanted to say, I know that you don't love each other anymore. But at least for this moment, can you please talk a bit? Can we pretend that everything is fine? Can we pretend to be happy? Happiness then. I never quite understood what people mean when they ask if you're happy. Obviously, it depends on the type of person. My mom, for example, had the perfect love story. She met my father when she was 14 years old. She was married at the age of 21, and then she had me when she was 24 years old. She always tried to make me understand that happiness was linked to finding the right man. Everything worked for her, and this made me feel even more the failure of my marriage. My grandmother, however, told me that true happiness was linked to professional success. She always asked me about school, my ballet class, even the painting course that I used to attend just once a week. I didn't mean to become Picasso, but she pushed me to give my best in every single activity I did. For everything else, her watchword was, "We are born to suffer." She used to repeat it over and over. Well, at this point, what I want is an answer. Why do women have to suffer in this way? Give up on having a career. Go through all of this pain to have a cheating husband. Maybe there's no reason. We're primitive creatures. We don't like what is simple. No, we love And so, we have to be flexible. We must be able to do a bit of everything, pretend we can't really do anything. We have to devote our body and soul to someone, or not. We have to be working women, or not. A woman should be helpful, independent, shaved, young, skinny, a good cook, good in bed, sexy, but not too much. And just when you seem to have reached the point and to be able to say, well, now it's my turn, now I drive, a beautiful 18-year-old girl, tall and blonde, with at least 10 kilos less and 10 centimeters more than you, comes along and manages to question everything you have worked hard for 4 years. Even my lasagna, famous throughout the district, which once he loved, couldn't possibly compete with that. And after all that I had to deal with, just because one day I vented my anger by imagining that Sydney was a sort of punching ball, now I'm in here for domestic violence. Can you believe it? As if I was in the wrong. Whether you have something to blame, I'm sure. Damn. All this excessive importance given to the fairy tales, to love, since we collect images of English princesses from the newspapers. I did everything that a good girl should do to make things work. The fault is not ours. It's just that we are designed this way. It is just that we want to belong to someone else. And there is no end. There is no remedy.
Question. Where do you see yourselves in 10 years? And the answer is, I don't know. I never know because I can't see the future. But I have many dreams about it and how it could be. In the future, I am a housewife and have a family. My husband is working as a car salesman not too far from our home. We have 2 cars, a blue BMW X3 for him and a red Porsche 208 for me, so I can drive our 2 beautiful and talented girls to school and then go grocery shopping so I can cook the best dinner for my family. We always visit his parents at their summer house in Torquay. We love spending time there. The sun, the beach, swimming, barbecuing, just relaxing in the nice British summer weather. In the future, I am a successful businesswoman and own my own company. It's the best law firm in England. I earn so much money, I don't have to work one more day in my life. I like it so much, I can't stop. At the moment, I'm working on a case which has gotten a lot of cover in the media. Victoria and David Beckham are getting a divorce. Victoria is my client, so basically she gets out of it very well, including the 55 model Jaguar. And I end up with more money and even a better reputation. In the future, I'm a hero. Everyone thinks I'm normal, but not. I'm at the counter at H&M paying for my lovely new summer dress. And all in a sudden, there's a gang of 3 guys standing there. 2 of them go up to the counter and demand all the money or everyone will die. The 3rd one is guarding the door. He looks nervous. I notice he doesn't have a weapon, so I don't care about him at the moment. The one asking for the money has a gun. The other one, a jungle knife. I calculate everything in my head, what to do, when to do it with minimal risk of me or anyone else but them getting hurt. I kick the gun out from his hand and steady myself for a counterattack. The second one charges at me. I fling him up with my left arm, grabbing around his neck with my right arm, and get him on the floor and kick away his knife. It's harmless now. The first one eyeing his gun, running toward it, too slow. I run after him, doing like we made the kick. Bam! He's down. The third one, already on the floor, with his hands over his head. What a wimp! By the time the security guys come, which will be like 30 seconds, I'm gone. Stupid dreams. When will you grow up? In the past, I lived with my mother and father. Sometimes my father would hit my mother. He called her the walrus. He said that if he hit her, maybe he could punch out some of the fat. I wanted to help mother too, but punching her, but I wasn't allowed. Father said, only men are allowed to do it. Fat ugly walrus! Yeah, fat ugly walrus. In the past, I didn't have any friends at school. I wasn't particularly clever and not good in sports. And no one wanted to sit with me during lunchtime because I always ate mackerel after the tin. But I was okay being alone. Just didn't like being picked on. I remember a time, one of the more humiliating times, the popular boy and popular girl played a trick on me. One of the popular girl's friends came to me and said that the popular couple had broken up because the guy had a crush on me. She told me he was in the gym, hoping I would show up. So I went there in hope to get a boyfriend. He was sitting on one of the benches, and I walked toward him. Before I could say anything, he said, "How dumb are you? Do you really think I'll break up with her for you? Really? I wouldn't want to be your boyfriend, even if you were the last girl on earth." On cue, I had giggling, and I looked up, saw a bunch of girls hanging on the balcony, pouring water over me. During a break some days later, I walked into the science lab, grabbed a bottle of acid, brought it back with me to the classroom, poured it into their drinking bottles. They had it coming! Everyone would have done the same! Yes, they deserved it. In the past, after my mother died, I lived in a foster home. After a few years, they got a little boy, and one day my foster mother had to go out to buy us dinner, and I had to take care of the little boy, but I didn't want to. I wanted to get wasted with my high school friends, but she told me it was my duty. As I sat there, I remembered a movie I saw with my father once. It was a boy and a girl. The girl lay naked on the floor with the boy on top of her, grabbing her breasts, and the girl was moaning. And father said, with a beer bottle in his hand, "That is one of the greatest feelings in the world." And I wanted to experience one of the greatest feelings in the world. So I took my clothes off, I lay on the floor, placed the little boy on top of me, put my hands over his, on my breast. My foster mother came back in. She had forgotten my wallet. It was one of the greatest feelings in the world, though! No, it's wrong. They tell me so. Yeah, but it was the best feeling you've had. Shut up! I don't want to listen to you anymore. Shut up! Oh, and what about the time I shut up? I always get the question, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And the answer is, I do know. I'll still be locked up in here because I could never live another life. But it's okay, isn't it? I'll still have my dreams.
expect strawberry and raspberry yogurt with nuts, baking cereal. 5 eggs with garlic cream cheese, or maybe Nutella chocolate. Frozen chips, a large size Spanish feta lasagna, spicy chicken wings, 20 pieces, Ben and Jerry's, peanut butter milk, caramel choo-choo, clever cookies, and strawberry cheesecake. Pringles, of course original, sour cream and onion, Texas barbecue, short and vinegar, hot and spicy, and cheese and onion, and bunch of M&Ms. This is the list usually I eat at the same time. When I am supposed to write, suddenly some sort of food pop up in my head. I don't want to eat, but the food keeps spinning around in my head. Of course I try to be a good writer all the time like you. I hypnotize myself. I'm writing at my desk with my pen. I'm going to write some brilliant story. I'm writing, and writing. But the pen starts to make a list of food which I'm going to eat. And then I just eat anything as much as I can. During binge eating, I'm in a kind of rush. Like I'm not really there, but I can't really enjoy the food for a moment. Only me, myself, and this food. To think about nothing else. And then I drink 2 glasses of water. Wait exactly 10 minutes. And then go to the toilet. Put my fingers in my throat. And then straight. And I throw up everything I ate. I'm not only throwing up my emotions, but myself as well. The throwing up is done. I have such a sense of relief. I don't know why. I have feel much nicer. And then slowly come back to my real world and my desk. A big feeling of guilt comes up, and I just feel very ashamed. I find myself disgusting inside and out. And I start writing again a story about what I just did and felt. Finally, I can be really focused on my writing. Like my pen is flying or dancing on my note. Sometimes I have some sex dreams. I'm sucking some guy's dick. And then I feel very hungry, so I eat the dick. Munch, munch, and munch the dick. Even worse as well. Another one is I'm throwing up in a toilet, and my head stuck inside the toilet bowl, and I can't move at all. I thought I'm dying in a toilet bowl. But all of a sudden, the toilet water flows backwards and becomes a really sweet cider. And I just lick up the cider with my tongue. After having these drinks, I usually go to the refrigerator and I have munches. I wrote a story about this and me. The story became the book. After reading the book, you gave me a really great compliment for the first time ever in my life. Do you remember what you said to me? You were so brilliant. You were so clever. Finally, you became a real writer now. As you said, maybe I'm a real writer now. And finally, I can be a really famous writer like you. There's something going wrong with me, and I can't stop. And I don't want to be a famous writer. I want to be your daughter who is really loved by her mother. the girl I was before. I wish I was little again. I only see my small own world like a fairy tale, with no place for fears. I'm holding your hand, walking through the beautiful sunshine together. And then there's a day I have to open my eyes. I see the world had been changed into a scary story of which I don't know if it would end good or bad. I'm too old for fairy tales. It's too late to fix it everything.
I fear cold. I fear emptiness. I fear to fail. I fear to be unsuccessful. I fear to be nobody.